Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie. So I don't have any notes today. I don't know what happened to the page, but it is gone and I am not retyping it. So I'm going to do my best to wing it. The next video that I want to do is going to be on Titty Talk, I guess. As like a trans person, I always wondered how long that was going to take, what kind of results I was going to get. So next video I do will be on that. Like, subscribe, and comment. Do it right now. Be an overachiever and do all three. For this video, I am going to be talking about why I'm trans, as best I can without any notes anyway. Should be easy enough to talk about. So without further ado, I am Melanie. This is my channel. I talk about things that are relevant to early on transitioning people, people considering transition, or supporters of someone in our situation. So if that's you, please stick around, and if it's not, you're welcome to stick around anyway. So, I always welcome any MAGA transphobes or something like that to a call in Discord, where we might be able to work out our differences in a call. And I might even give you a chance to soundboard all of your hate speech points that you want to make, and we could feature it here on the channel. So, if you're interested in that, please drop me a comment in the comment section. If you are someone who doesn't have a lot of money and you're thinking about transitioning, don't let that stop you. I don't have a lot of money either, and I am still doing the thing. We got the laser going on, like no foundation, so if that's you and whoever you live with doesn't make a lot of money, you can still do the thing. Look for your benefits. They do exist. So now that that is over, this is weird. I normally take like breaks between each paragraph and sometimes even between sentences, so this is strange to just go on through. I've also found that apparently YouTube algorithm doesn't like it when I get high in the middle of my videos, so I have to stop doing that. I can get high before, during, and after, but not while filming, so here is a 420 to you, since YouTube wants to be shitty. And that being said, I'm going to talk about why I'm trans, and I think the simplest answer is that I was born male, and I do not align with that. I don't live life as a male. Whether I'm non-binary, whether I'm a woman, wherever else I take that, I am not a man, and I was born male. So that makes me trans. There's an umbrella there, and lots of things under the umbrella. I don't know about lots of things, but you can kind of take it in any direction you want to go. So for me, I am a trans woman. I am within the binary. So that is what makes me trans in the most simple definition textbook way. We can get into definitions of man and woman. That's not a problem, but I don't think it's really necessary here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go based off the notion that everyone here is smarter than Charlie Kirk and figured out what a woman and a man is before they died. So, that being said, that is what makes me trans, and some different things, I guess, to talk about. It's interesting to me that when I first started transitioning, I was big into like, what the fuck? My necklace is caught. Whatever, I don't care. My butterflies are still happy. I was very caught up in the like what my gender presentation was going to be and all of that, which is probably a smart thing to do. But I lost sight of the fact that everyone else around me still did that. Like all of the cis people I know, cis meaning that they're born man or woman and they present that way in their gender presentation. So for me, I didn't think about the fact that every single person on Earth engages in gender expression. So people engage in gender expression all the time. They do it in various cultures, they do it in various parts around the world, and they all do it in different ways. No one no one person's gender expression is going to be the same as someone else's. So for me, I think this is important to remember that I'm not different. I'm just like everybody else. In that sense, I'm just like everybody else. I'm expressing my gender the way that I feel inside. And I think that cis people have an easier time about it. No one gives them shit about it, at least not normally. But you find situations where someone's not masculine enough or not feminine enough, and they don't fit into those typical binary categories. Even if they identify as binary, sometimes it can get a little bit murky. And I think the answer to that is just to accept people for how they choose to identify themselves and present themselves. Like, if I'm not being offensive, I'm not, like, spreading Nazi rhetoric, I don't see a problem with it. So I think for me, it was very beneficial to remember that everyone else around me is doing that, and I am just taking part in it. And the other thing that was really cool for me when I learned this, which I didn't think about it ever, but I heard a biologist one time talking about gender expression and how, depending on where you go across the world and at different times in history, gender expression changes. Like, men, it used to be extremely masculine to wear high heels and faint if they were put off by something. That was a very masculine thing to do, and it's not anymore. In different parts of the country, it's a very masculine thing to do, to wear robes and dresses. I don't live in that part of the world, but in that part of the world, it's a masculine thing to do. Some places it's a feminine thing to cover your hair, and that's an expression of femininity. Different cultures around the world, they have different norms and different rules, and I think for me, the reason that is so important and relevant to my trans experience is that it means that I'm normal. It means that I'm doing things exactly the way that I should be doing them, exactly the way everyone else does, and that no such thing is normal. There is no normal. Male and female is even that itself on a spectrum. Like, you have people that are, like, can't see what our chromosomes are doing or what they are unless you go and get them tested, which is actually pretty expensive. So as far as, like, people of different chromosomal backgrounds, it's all on a spectrum. Everything, all of that is on a spectrum, as well as gender. And that made me feel really good inside. I felt very confident about what I was doing after that. So a couple of things that I have been thinking about as far as this video is concerned. I don't have my notes, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience in expressing that gender, and some of the struggles that I had early on versus now. And I think the main difference now is that I don't give a shit. And it certainly has helped that I have some laser. Like, that certainly gives me a lot of confidence. But, like, my makeup I didn't like today. And I didn't take it off. I just rolled with it and went with it. I'm not particularly dressed well. And it's okay. I'm not worried about it. And I think that's a major difference today versus a year and a half ago when I started transitioning. I just don't give a shit now. I got some fucking bitchin' ass hair. Like, what you gonna say? Like, okay. So, I think as far as my gender expression is concerned, I tend to go toward very bright colors, pinks, yellows, light purples, things like that. Purple's probably the cool color that I go with. But, you know, and I find things that are central to me that I'm pretty much always going to be behind. If it's bright pink, I'm going to probably like it. Even if I don't like the actual, like, thing, I'm going to like the color. You don't see me in a lot of gray, but this one has bunnies all over it. I'm really into butterflies now. I love the idea that something is transforming into something new and beautiful. So I definitely, of course, being transy, I identify with that heavily. And I think as part of, like, my gender expression when I go outside, like, most of the time, I forgot to do it. I didn't put on any mascara. But normally, I just do, like, mascara and I do a blush, and that's it. Like, I'm just out the door. I don't care anymore. I don't need to look flawless. I'm not going to fool anyone. No one's going to be confused that I was born female. So, there's, like, no point. And I think for not passing trans people, there is some, like, comfort in that. Like, nothing I do is going to make me pass as a female lady. I may pass as a trans lady, and that's fine. I am a trans lady, so points for me, I guess. Doo-doo in the face of all the trans haters. But it really is that simple. I am not going to pass. I'm never going to fool anyone. At least not until I get some surgeries anyway. So, that all being said, there's comfort to take in that. I can just go outside the way that I choose and not much going to be different. Now, I will say, if I do, like, some eye and I put on, you know, something pretty femme, like my pants are pretty femme, I can do things that signal and give away what my identity is, so that I am like calling to allies, like, hey, if you're a trans ally, I'm trans. I am your friend. And I think for me, that's another thing that I can do. If it's obvious I'm a bricky trans lady, call for allies, because you gonna need them. You know, and I'm exaggerating, like, you gonna need them. I've never had a situation where, like, I was in danger. So I say that in jest, but I think in all seriousness, that's a big part of it. I'm signaling to people what I am, who I am, what my business is, at least as far as like the gender stuff is concerned. And if they're going to have an issue, they're probably not going to approach me. I don't look super approachable to someone who hates trans people. They're going to hate me. So it kind of gets them away from me a little bit. And if they hate me, so fucking what? I don't care. I really don't. I don't lose a bit of sleep at night over someone who had an issue with how I was dressed outside. So those are my little points on why I'm trans, I guess. Some different things to help with early on transitioning, and hopefully to help someone feel a little bit better about themselves and more comfortable and normal in their own skin. Without my notes, I'm kind of lost on this one. I don't really know where else to take it. That's not like, I could go on and on and on, but as far as the core points, I think this covers it. So with that being said, my next video is going to be about titty talk. We'll talk all about titties and at least how it relates to trans people, and myself and my experience anyway. And that includes what I've seen from other people transitioning. We'll give my take on that. If you have made it this far in the channel, or in the video, I'm sorry, please type bunny in the comments and we will do some algorithmic help. So with all of that, love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Like and subscribe, comment below.